Hi, this is Srinivas Tamada, founder of nilesson.info. This video is about how to design a multi-tenant project. What is a multi-tenant project means, like if you look at the popular websites like Nike or MI, it based on the continent and based on the region, the website is going to like redirect. They're going to maintain a different designs for UK, US, and it's like India. Like it's a different projects like, but because they're going to sell different products in different continents. So how we're going to design the same kind of stuff with the Angular? Basically, the architecture is this way. It's everything on the same container, an Angular container, but it has a multiple applications. But it's going to share the common, components folder, and everybody going to use it for the common ones, and for the designs and any other stuff they're going to maintain a different app. And this is a basic architecture. If anybody comes from the US app, it redirects to the USA API and it gets the information. And with the UK is the same, and any other common one, it will be the common server. So that's what I'm going to design. So basically the output looks like this. Right now I'm in US. Like if I open this website, it automatically redirects to the US. And basically this is the UK. If you see, it's different categories here, and this is for India. Yeah, and basically for the first time, like based on the continent it comes. Let me try to open this with my Opera and show you that the more better way. Let me connect my to Europe, the VPN. The Opera is really good with a free VPN. So let me open that and let's see what is going to open it. See, if you look at this, it automatically redirects to the UK. So this is what we're going to achieve, and this is completely my way of architecture. Yeah, let's create a project. Let me close everything. And yeah, before starting this project, you need a latest node version. So node, I think it's a 12.3, and the latest, it comes with the latest npm 2, and the same way you need a Angular CLI. Basically you need a 8 now. So I'm going to start this project with 8. Let me go to the project. So clear off everything. Yeah, like I'm going to create a project like so do you want any routing you need? Yes, we needed routing, and I'm going to go with this SCSS, and it's going to pull up all the dependencies and it will create a new project. Now the project has been created. Let's go to the list, and it is Angular multi. Yes. Let me open this with the Visual Code. Yes, this is a basic project structure, but I'm going to change a little bit based on my need. This is the basic project structure, and if you give ng-serve, it compiles the code and it launches at localhost 4200. So this is the basic project, and this is a default project structure, but I'm going to configure things with the tsconfig and the main tsconfig. This is the app config. I'm going to do a little bit of changes here, and my project structure will be this way. So I'm going to create a new folder called tenants, and I'm going to move all these files into the tenant. Initially I'm going to design for the US tenant, so this is called US. So it's kind of my project now. So I'm going to move all the environments, app and assets, everything to here. And the same way for all this. And I need a app config too, and the spec as well. Spec is nothing but it's for all the tests. So this is what I moved it, and let me check, is there anything I needed? And we need a karma too, and I'm moving this, and I'm going to maintain every tenant as a end-to-end test and the karma test. So I'm going to move this to the US. Now everything I moved to the US, and these are the common configuration files. So this is the tenant, and under this tenant, like I'm going to duplicate this US, UK, and how many regions you want to maintain, you can do that. So this is what I usually follow. If you have anything better, you can just follow that, but this is completely my way of design. And I'm going to create another folder called shared, or you can make it as a common to whatever name you want. So basically here I'm going to maintain the common project files, like services. In the same way, I'm going to create a new folder and give shared components. Because why I gave shared components, because we're going to maintain other components inside the app, so I don't want to make a conflict between the modules. So because shared services is no need any module maintenance, you can direct files. Basically this services, like we're going to keep for all the common tenant, like HTTP service and the storage service and the cookie service, all we're going to maintain it here, because all the tenants is going to use it. And the same way for the components like logo, footer, any common ones between all of the regions. If you want, you can maintain like assets, all the images. For the common images you can keep it, and one more thing like styles, so all the common styles you can keep it. The same way, this is the app. The app, I'm going to create new folder called components. This is everything comes under the US, it goes here. And the same way for the new folder, and I'm going to maintain services this, because this is like any, again it's individual level, this is the shared level. So right now if you look at the project, it's going to break because we moved all the project structures. So now I'm going to adjust the stuff with the Angular JSON. Angular JSON has all the configurations where exactly it got located. So if you look at this, we moved everything from root to SRC and the tenants, and then US. The same way the source root as well to this, it goes here. And now everything looks good, and this is the distribution folder, because whenever you distribute it, I mean you're going to ng build it, going to create dist and Angular multiple project. Instead of that, I'm going to give US. And now the project name also, I'm going to change it to the US. And now if you look at this, output folder has been changed, and now if you see, this is src index.html, this one also comes with US. And make sure, like whenever you give dst US, you make it as a small letters, because it comes under the domain. So the same way for the main too, it goes to this level, and all of this goes to this level, and cross verify this, we copied in that level. And now this is the ts config, because the ts config app is under the same root. And if you see the fav icon and assets, we specified in this, you can, if you want, you can move these to the assets, but right now let's keep maintaining the same way, because this asset says like it's maintaining by this one, it's a common one. You can keep any designs under the US, you can keep it. And now it is comes under the styles. Yeah, this is the style, and this is also pointed to this. And if I'm going to maintain any common styles in this, let me create one common style file, like styles.scss. Initially it will be blank, so that one you point out here like where exactly that got located. So basically that's a base file, so it comes first, and like src and the shade, and then styles and styles.css. So basically when it compiles, it takes the this styles first and it goes to the tenants level, and it's going to give you the final css file. So yeah, and the same environments, the environments, if you work with uh, now come to the environments. The environments are based on the project you have to maintain. So basically you have a prod environment and the environment.ts. So this is for a dev edition, like you can keep all the API localhost URLs, you can maintain it here, and the prod ones, like all the live ones. Whenever you run the ng build, it's going to pick up this one. So this is pretty good. So you just same thing you have to do, change it, and this is the best way to, like, you can like maintain the bundle size. If it is more than 5 meg, and it gives you an error, and if you want, you can increase it based on that, your need, like. And now it comes to the build, like basically now project name has been changed to US, and now whenever you want to start the project, like npm run ng serve, you can give project like US. So that I'll explain you later, like anyway it comes up. So, and the same way I'm going to change this too. And now it comes to the unit testing. The unit testing also, now everything is pointing to the project level is this way. This is your karma.config file. So this has all the configurations. So again, this one you have to, and if you look at this, the spec file we copied in the same level, it's fine, and the karma config also same, and the src and the fav icons, you can change it. If you move these things to the shared assets, then you just change it the same way we modified for the styles. The same way you have to give the same path so that the project will understand. And again, it comes to the styles. You can copy paste the same thing here, because karma should understand like where exactly you are pulling the stuff. So it looks good. Now it comes to the lint. We are following the same one here, so we're not changing because everything is under end-to-end config everything. And now it comes to the end-to-end now. So now we're going to change it to the US end-to-end, because when you maintain a different projects, you have to specify the commands. So based on that, you can run the end-to-end. Because we're going to modify these things a little bit, so that based on these commands you can target which tenant you specifically working. So now it comes to the end-to-end location. Like this is the end-to-end location. You have to specify the complete, because now we are pointing to this. So yeah, and now it serves the US now, and the same way for here also US. And now if you look at that, there is a default project. The default project is nothing but whenever people give ng serve, it based on this one, it going to run the project, because you can maintain the same configuration for US, UK and India. So right now we changed to US. So right now I'm going to check for US first, then we'll decide like how we're going to duplicate the stuff for UK and India. So now whenever if you give ng serve, it directly comes here and it picks this configuration and it compiles. Now we need to modify the test configurations. The test configurations mostly will be the karma conf.js, and if you see anything we need to modify here, and looks like the coverage report will be now US. So yeah, and everything looks good here. And now go to the app.json, and if you look at this, basically it excluded some of the things like whenever you do npm run, we need to exclude spec files, everything. So but if you look at that, now we moved end to end, so it has some spec files. So I'm going to exclude the folder, complete folder. The end-to-end is a completely different kind of code, so I'm ignoring this, so it only consider these app files. So now looks good. And if you look at that, this is pointing to the tsconfig, the main file. So this one, it has a common configurations. Now we moved it, so you have to adjust the path. So basically now it's under 3 levels. So yeah, now it is actually referring to this. Yeah, and now let me run the project and see if the project is running or not. Looks like it has a lot of bugs. And let me cut that and let me give the ng serve. And now I think a little bit configuration issue. Let me now give the ng serve and see what kind of issues will get it. Yeah, I think still it is looking to the old structure, and maybe we missed one of the configuration in the. So we need to adjust the path for the tsconfig, and the same way for anything else. Let me find out this one too, and let me modify this as well, because it's coming from the angular.json, so we need to configure these things as well. And wherever this one, I'm just pointing the same path. Yeah, now looks good. And if you see anything else, yeah, now if you look at this, the base URL, it goes to the app.json, this level. So this is the basic configurations we need to do, and let's see the project is running or not. Yep, still we have an issues like there is actually, whenever you do ngserve, it is again picking up the spec.ts. We should exclude those because we change this path, we no need src anymore. So I'm going to drop out this folder and the test. So now basically everything is pointing to the US folder now. So let's build it again. So why I'm moving it, you'll find the actual advantages when you work with the multiple teams this way, like so different teams can maintain different tenants, so that it'll not come any conflicts. So if you look at this now, I think the project has been started, and let me see, and yeah, it's working good. Anyway, it is Angular multi project. Now let me quickly change that to the US, and we'll see the end-to-end test and the karma unit test all should pass. So I'm going to change this title to USA, and now go to the spec file, and this should be welcome to USA, because it goes to this title and even all these things. I'm going to modify it equals to the USA. This good, and go to the end-to-end now. There is an end-to-end spec file, and here also I'm just modifying to USA, and anything else is fine. Now let's run the unit test. Let's go clear it off and go to the package.json, and there is a let's try the unit test first, and it's called ng test. You can simply use npm run test or ng test. Yeah, and the same way we need to modify for the other files too. I think it's still pointing to the src folder. Yeah, now the same way for app configuration, how we made it, the same way we need to adjust this and remove the src. And let's save the project and run it, ng test. Yeah, another browser has been launched, and if you see it, everything got updated, and Yeah, it's everything got passed. If you want, you can just test, like, faking it to like US and see is it really working or not. Let's kill it and launch it again and see the result. Now if you see it, one test got failed because of USA, we changed to US. Yeah, that way you can test the unit test. Let me kill it and I'm going to switch back to USA. This is good. Now back to the next command called now come to the next command. Go to the package.json. There is a ng build, so that we need to see how that comes up, like ng build or npm run build. Let's try to use the npm run because we're going to create some more commands like this. Now this basically compiles entire project and it gives you the distribution folder for hosting. So yep, now if you look at that, there is a dst folder and inside that there is a us. Yep, and if this is like, this is not, yeah, so now we got the index. If you want, you can just give prod here, so that will ignore the map files. See, now if you see the map, and let me then create it again. Now it's going to run with the prod. So this way actually it pulls up the environment prod version. So maybe that one I'll discuss it later. Yep, now if you look at the DST US folder, it ignores all the map files. So yeah, this is the final output. Oh no, I think it's still pending to generate some more files, kind of index.html and all. Yeah, so this is the final file. There is no map files now. So this basically goes to the hosting. So, and this way you're going to create UK and India for all other continent based on the country region, country code. So now this is good, and now go to the next command for the end-to-end. Let's see how the end-to-end works. Uh, Make sure we need to cross verify all the configurations is right or wrong. Yeah, we need to cross verify this first. Yep, see, the same way you have to change it. Now it's pointing to the 4 levels because it's inside the end-to-end, so it is now 4 levels, and the same way you have to give the base URL. So here, and everything looks good. This is good, and go to the protractor configuration, and is there anything is pending to see it? Yep, good. I think this is also I think it will be a bit confusion. So let me change this to end-to-end so that there will not be any conflict. And the same way I'm changing here to the end-to-end. So yeah, now no problem. Let's run the npm run end-to-end. Yeah, it basically runs the Selenium and Selenium driver, and then to, like, check the user interface stuff, like integration stuff. But in this video, I'm not covering up any other things, but just for the basic one, it is everything looks good or not. Yeah, it's one thing got failed. Maybe see, look at that fav icon is not loading properly. So yeah, let me see that I can do it or not. Um, Maybe I'll see that later because it's not related to any UI stuff. This is like a fav icon stuff, so that when it comes to the assets, that time we can take care of those things. Let me close it, and yeah, now looks good. So now I'm going to create a UK and the India tenants. Basically, there is a command to create a project, like npm, ng generate application, and then you can give UK. But if you look at this, and it's going to create a project like this. This is a pretty easy way to create a project, and it comes with a basic default stuff, and uh, but this has a different architecture again. So, and you cannot point out, like, the specific location, like I want this inside the src tenants. Basically it will not create. For example, I just want to give quickly, uh, this is like src tenants, and I'm just giving inside that to give India, for example. But it's always taking like to the projects only. So that's what I'm not interested to create it. Instead of that, I'm going to duplicate the work. So I'm just deleting this. If you want, you can create it that way. And if you see the angular.json, they're going to modify everything. Like, you're going to add some more thing like this. But the same way, we are also going to do it. This is a little bit of automated way, but I want to maintain the structure in this way. I don't want srcs, many srcs inside. So instead of that, like, I'm just copy and pasting it, and I'm just renaming it to UK. And the same way, I'm going to paste one more thing, and this I'm going to rename it to India. So now I'm going to angular.json. Now if you look at just, yeah, I'm just duplicating this again. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to open a new file, and I'll paste it here, and instead of US, I'm going to rename with UK. That way you can change it very quickly. So I'm just copy pasting it now. So let's give a comma and add it here. And now the same one, I'm going to do it for UK and changing to IN and replace all. And again, I'm just copy pasting it and pasting it. So this way, like, it's under my, so if you look at this, the project will be end to end, everything this way. Yeah, instead of auto generated, maybe if you like it, you can do that. So now everything, I created all of this. Let me quickly change a few things we need to change, because I used like replacing the work dist. This is good, and this is, instead of capital, you can change it as a small, and even this. Yep, now this is fine. You don't need to change any other stuff inside. Everything is proper except for karma test and all. You go to the HTML. This is the project of UK, and now you can just modify USA with UK, so that the test will be fine. And the same way for India. And I just want to show you like how I'm going to launch one by one and see again. And the spec file, there is a India. That's good. Now come back to the package.json. So this package.json, we're going to write some specific commands. This is the default one. Now these default commands are pointing to the angular.json, the default project, but now I can do the same in a different way. So I'm just duplicating this with, I can give like this, start US instead of, so you can point out the project name like this. So the same way you can do like US, US, and the test US, and this comes for everything. And now the same thing you can do it for the UK and the India too. So this is UK, Now the commands are ready, and let's try to run the UK project and see is it really UK is working or not. Um, the default ones you can change it wherever you want, like you can change to the Angular.json is specifically working on the particular project. You change this to UK or US or India so that you don't need to give. Let me give an npm run start UK. Now this is actually pointing to this tenant, UK tenant, and ignore about these things. Yep, now you launch it, refresh it, and it is now UK. The same way, like you can run it for India, and if you see the all the test commands, everything works as it is for the even for the builds too. And let's anyway, I'm going to do that. So if you want to package, I'm going to write a new command called package to bind everything. So like npm run build us. Sorry, npm run build us, and you can combine the commands this way. So I'm going to give one more and this. And this is for UK and this is for India. And if you like that, this is India now. And let me kill this and now run the npm run package. So this executes the three of them, like the build for this, this, and this, and it creates all the distributed folder, and you will see now. So when you do the Jenkins build or something, I already posted a Circle CA article to do automation stuff. So this way you can, one command, it can execute all the stuff like asynchronous process. It will take pretty long time because we need to combine all these things. It will take pretty long time because we need to combine all these things. Yeah, now the process has been completed and it got packaged all of the tenants. If you look at the DST folder, you'll find the packages. So this is how you're going to package everything with one single command. Yeah, now we need to work on the redirection part. If you look at the domain, so whenever you launch the domain, like it automatically redirects based on your country code or continent code. Further, I'm using a small API to redirect. So before that, like basically when you host all these things with the Firebase, I think uh, all these folders go individually. And before that, we need a root index .html to tell the browser like where exactly need to go. That index is going to decide. So I'm going to write a small index file. So this index is common for everyone. So I'm going to create a index file in the shared folder. It's called index.html. Let me open this and I'm adding with HTML5 syntax. You can add if you want like multi-tenant project. So here is the body, but we are not doing anything here, but we're going to use on small kind of API. So this is what, it's a free API I found. Like basically when you copy this and paste this anywhere, it gives you the continent ID and the country code, and the continent is North America. And if you open this with any, like, let me open this with Opera, and I'm changing to Europe and I'm trying to access this. And if you look at this, it's a continent code is Europe, and it will give you another information as well. So this one I'm not going with the country code. Instead of I'm using continent code because I have a limited tenant. So yeah, this actually this is a function. So using this function, you can get the response of the JSON. So it's pretty straightforward. Like I'm going to write one more script. So basically it is a function, and if you look at the output, this is the function name GOIP. So I'm just calling that, and the response I'm getting is a JSON. And then I need to specify the domain. So let me add a let command. So this is what my domain I added, and I'm just getting the JSON dot continent code. So this refers to this one, I mean continent code. If you want, you can add this too. So then I'm just using this code, and I'm writing a simple if else function. So code, it's equal to North America, and like code, I mean like, or maybe code equal to South America, then it redirects to the, it's a simple command to redirect. It's like window.location. I'm just pointing this domain, and then this is US tenant. You just directly, it redirects to the US tenant. So then same thing, I'm just writing it for UK. So the continent code is for UK is Europe. So and UK, the same way for else. I'm just using the same, and this is rest of the world. I'm just giving yeah, so wherever you open, by default this will open. So this is a simple command. So but you may add in future a lot of things, so we need to add this in the package as well. So let me create some command like index. Basically this index file we need to copy inside the dst folder. That we cannot do every time like manually, so instead of that we can write a small copy command, so you can bind with the package. So let's go to package.json, and index, basically it's a copy. If it is a Windows, you change it. Basically this is a shared drive location, and I mean shared location, and then you just give the DST. And now you can add simply this one like end statement, like npm run index. So when you run this, it execute this one as well. So let me quickly add this quickly, like npm run index. It basically copies the index file and put it inside the dst folder. So yeah, so this will take care whenever you host everything with a Firebase. Look at the 9 lessons article, and you will find an article called Firebase Hosting. You will see all the steps, how, and there is a small video on how you actually set up the Firebase and host it there. And these are the simple steps to follow. Make sure you watch this video, you'll understand more about hosting. So that's the thing, and yeah, pretty much we covered. In the next video, I'm going to cover the services and creating components, and working with design, like how we're going to do like multiple designs for the tenant based on colors, how we can change it. All these things I'll explain in the next part video. Thanks a lot for watching this video.